Hey everybody, welcome to the Late Horror Show!
Back in that ass.
Yeah, what?
Back in that ass.
Oh, we are, really? Okay.
What are we talking about today?
Today
Horror movies?
We're talking horror movies.
I knew it.
From the year 1982.
Oh, now you have my attention.
It's one of... Yeah, oh, I thought that's where you were going.
Yeah, now you have my attention.
Because, 1982 was one of the better years.
Not one of. It's the greatest year for movies in our lifetime.
Yeah.
Now, maybe in somebody else's lifetime there was a cool year. But for this generation that we represent...
A lot of good stuff in 1982, yeah.
There is a plethora of good movies.
And
we are just going to focus on the horror movies.
Right.
For this one. But on our other show, we're going to talk about 82.
The Dino and Ted Show.
The Dino and Ted Show.
We're going to talk about all movies.
And
all TV shows.
TV shows, music.
Whatever came out in
82.
So anyways, this
I
one...
wish I could go back to 82. I'd have taken state.
You know, I'm telling you. But yeah, 1982, man. Some of the biggest horror movies of all time. Well, one of them, The Thing.
Arguably one of the best horror films.
Yeah.
That was panned when it came out. Hated, reviled.
Isn't that strange how that happens?
It does happen once in a while.
John Carpenter.
What I find interesting,
Kurt Russell.
Before we get too deep, is that it came out on June 25th, 1982.
Really? Oh.
Also the same day as Blade Runner. Both
that's right.
Panned, hated, reviled, later on considered masterpieces. And I also find it funny that they both deal with a similar subject but in very, very different ways.
Yeah.
Which is what is humanity, what makes a person. And they both, in their own way, deal with that subject. They're not doing it the same way at all.
A hidden agenda?
No, not a hidden agenda at all. It's just funny that they were both hated, both reviled. Didn't do well, people didn't go see it, critics hated them.
And here today,
20 years later, people love them.
Yeah.
30, 40 years
later.
Favorite. And they both kind of dealt with the same issue. I don't think it's because of that, just a little coincidence that happened.
Yeah, no.
A little serendipity.
Serendipity, yeah.
Right.
No, that's
But that would probably get my award for the best film of 82 is the best horror film of 82, The Thing.
Yeah, I mean...
I can do a top 3 or something. Yeah. Not all horror films, but that's the best horror film. This list you got pulled up here, The Thing beats them all. Except maybe Basket Case.
Yeah, I'll talk... well, I was going to say Basket Case.
But, I mean, if you go for substance...
No, of course. Yes. I mean...
But what else did we
do? I like Basket Case or The Thing better? I like The Thing better. But
Basket Case is just...
If I'm a little tipsy and had a few,
Basket
Case might be the one I go to.
If we've had a few refreshing,
it just depends,
cool refreshing Zimas.
well, what else do you got on there?
What else? Some that I really like, and I tried to pick out
because
the ones...
I am going to throw some. There were quite a few horror movies in 1982 that were made, and I might quickly go through the entire list. We'll see. It shouldn't take that long, but we're going to hit on the big ones.
Well, we'll hit
Creepshow?
Creepshow was a big one. Didn't come out till towards the end of the year, but you had Romero and Stephen King together.
Right.
I like Creepshow. I think it's a little overly long. And it's not that I don't have a problem with long movies. It's just, I don't know, I think it kind of overstays its welcome a little bit. But and some segments are stronger than other segments.
Of course.
I love the first part, the father and the birthday cake. And I love the one that Stephen King's in. With the meteorite and turning into the plane. Jordy Verrill. I do really like that one. And it had some great effects in it, too. So I got nothing against it. It's just not something I revisit.
The story in the movie that I think I didn't care for the least, even though I still cared for it, was the Ted Danson part where
Leslie Nielsen buried in the sand,
burying them up in the sand up to their head. I mean, that was just awful. I think that's what I hate about it. He's buried up to his neck, man, and it's.
What a way!
Oh yeah. Puts a TV by him so he could see what's their name and stuff.
Remember that. But still a cool movie, and it got a really nice special edition here in the States.
It sure did.
Scream Factory. I didn't buy it, but it's
Scream
nice.
Factory?
Yes, Scream Factory is the name of it.
Scream Factory.
Yes.
Okay.
I guess we can't mention 82 without mentioning probably the scariest PG-rated movie of all time.
Oh, what's that?
Next to is Poltergeist.
Yes.
I mean, I think you had Poltergeist, Gremlins, and Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom, and if it wasn't for those 3 movies, you wouldn't have the PG-13 rating.
Yeah. But
for little kids, right. Kids like my kids' age, 9 and 6,
started veering into
that's a scary movie to watch.
Started veering into the paranormal.
Just scary enough.
Yeah.
I think it's a perfect movie for little kids as long as they're not too afraid of things, and I think it's just scary enough for
right.
10 on down.
Yeah.
If they're mature enough.
Yeah, it's not gory.
They got the dude ripping his face apart. There's that. I mean, you think you're going to watch...
Not a lot of blood, though.
You think you're watching a movie, and the next thing you know, the guys are... Even though it looks really fake...
Well, that's what I'm saying, there was a difference between that and just like, what you get in a Friday the 13th or Halloween or something,
True.
It was more like a darker
color. But, I mean, a guy tearing his face apart, and it was aimed at little kids,
And great acting, great story, great everything.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's a movie that I've seen so many times.
Yeah.
That I almost... It's kind of like Ghostbusters and Back to the Future. I just have no desire to ever watch them again. Like there's some movies that you can go and you can watch over and over and over again.
Right.
And then there's some it's just
you have. Poltergeist. You've watched it over and
over. As a kid, I watched it a lot because it was on cable a lot. As soon as they hit on HBO or whatever.
They shouldn't hit on HBO. They're not very good looking.
You know what I mean.
Oh.
But, I mean, they were on at least 2 times a day. And,
at least 2 or 3.
And they would always put those big movies in the summer. Kids are home, nothing to do. You watch them on cable.
Yeah.
Because I didn't see that in the theaters.
Slingshots is what they do. They go outside, ride their bikes, slingshot.
That's what they should be doing.
Yeah. Finding dead bodies.
Yeah.
Like Stand By Me.
I mean, I know we'll mention a bunch of others, but I guess the other one that I really like, and that I have to mention, just because it's cheesy, is Swamp Thing. Oh. Although the movie is cheese, I mean,
I'm not going to put cheesy down because that's what I love.
It's based on one of the greatest horror comics ever written.
Likes Adrian Barbeau mostly, but
hey, Adrian Barboobies.
But no, I'm going. Sorry.
I remember I saw that on cable as well. I didn't see that in the theater.
Ted went.
And I remember, like my mom let me watch it because it's PG, and she's upstairs cleaning or whatever, and then there's that swamp bathing scene, and I'm just like.
Holy moly.
Yeah. Mom, please don't come down the stairs now.
I never hear the end of this story.
I know.
But anyways.
But it's also based on... The movie's not great.
Right.
At all.
Right.
There's some good stuff in it, but it's not... But it is based on one of the best...
I love that suit. Oh, sorry. Keep interrupting.
It's based on one of the great horror comic books of all time, created by Len Wein and Bernie Wrightson. Awesome artists.
Lenny and Squiggy did this?
Lenny and Squiggy.
Holy Moses. I can't believe that.
And then picked up by Alan Moore later on, who basically retransformed.
I thought the Big Ragu did it.
Yeah, and it's actually coming back on TV. There's going to be a new Swamp Thing, like CW series or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's kind of relevant.
Yeah, let's bring everything back.
So that
from
was
the 80s, because the 80s were that great.
They were. But those are my favorites. We got a lot more to talk about.
Oh, hell yeah.
Those were some of my favorites.
Yeah, no, I mean,
Oh, Cat People's on the list. Did you ever see Cat People?
Yes, I've seen Cat People.
With Malcolm McDowell and Natasha Kinski.
Natasha Kinski.
Kinski.
Yes, she was...
Movie that isn't that great, but it's so awesome to look at. It's a beautiful movie.
Yes, I'll agree with that. Yeah, not the best script or anything like that. They really didn't...
Sort of, kind of a remake of the 1940s.
Right.
Cat People, but not... It's kind of its own thing.
I had such a crush on Natasha Kinski back
then. Then you should watch the Hammer movie. Her first movie was a Hammer movie.
Which one?
To the Devil a Daughter with Christopher Lee.
Really?
Oh, yes. Great Hammer
very
movie.
Young Natasha Kinski.
Not too young to not be able to get naked, but...
I'm talking about...
Oh, yeah, she get naked in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. She plays she's dressed in a nun costume, too, which I know you will like, especially.
Yeah, send me that title so I know that, but...
I'll Dropbox you the movie if you want it that bad.
No, yeah. I'm just looking through here a little bit. Like, let's name a couple movies, and we'll hit on some big ones. Like, nothing really, sticks out. Like The Aftermath. The cast it says Sid Haig.
It's a one-man show. It does the whole movie.
That's all it says is Sid Haig. The Aftermath. So he did something. I mean, that's Sid Haig from Devil's Rejects.
Sid Haig's not as big as you think he is, I think. It's like he's in Devil's Rejects. And
oh no!
Believe
me,
he's
I don't think so
ass
either.
All of a sudden,
there's Alone in the Dark. Jack Palance, Donald Pleasance, Martin Landau. I've never seen it.
No, but the cast
sounds interesting.
I guess you got Jack Palance and Donald Pleasance together. But Donald Pleasance was in every other movie back then.
Yeah.
I mean, he's in everyone knows him for Halloween, but he was
in a ton of shit.
Yeah, I mean, he's in a barrel full of movies.
And then we get Amityville 2, The Possession.
Never saw it.
Never seen it either. It starred James Olsen and Burt Young.
I never saw it.
From Rocky fame,
Yeah.
Hey, Rock, what you doing, Rock? Mm-hmm. The drunk heavyset guy, Burt Young.
That's his brother-in-law.
What's that?
Yeah.
Brother-in-law.
Yeah, it was Adrian's brother.
Well, right, yeah.
Yeah.
And he didn't want Rocky.
Why I forget his name? I don't know. Can't remember his name all of a sudden.
Yeah, and then you got The Appointment. Nothing big there. It's
I don't even really enjoy the Amityville Horror anymore since we kind of learned that it was all kind of just a big hoax and not really real and.
Yeah, kind of takes away from the storyline. It does,
and it was a frightening movie back then. When you first saw it. I even read the book.
When that dog went down in that basement and was digging at that wall.
At the end. And they go back to get the damn dog at the end.
Made you scary.
The whole house is getting sucked into another dimension or whatever. And they go back for the damn... Well, if that was me, I'd be like, I'm sorry. I see you in hell.
Sorry, baby, I'm going home.
Sorry, Rover.
Yeah, no, that
I ain't going back. If you ain't with it, that gets me an Alien too. When she goes back for the GD cat.
Yeah,
it's like, I'm sorry, Boots, but or Jonesy, whatever his name is.
Hey,
if
you're attached to that cat, you're gonna want.
I'm attached to my ass more than I'm attached to it.
then of course we got Basket Case, Frank Henenlotter.
Oh, Basket Case.
Just a movie that I love so much.
Now, definitely made before '82, but just didn't see a release.
Right.
Because that is just New York.
It's got more of a New York to be. Late '70s gritty kind of vibe to it.
That's how you want New York to be. That's how I still want New York to be.
You still want?
I want to walk down the street
and still is, but
be just all those nudie bars and cheap hotels and drunks and people with needles in their arm and
what the?
That's what I want New York to be.
We want civilization to be demoralized and poor and
it's not supposed to be a place you take your kids.
Oh god, and we also had The Beast Within.
What's in that? What's that about?
The Beast Within is
never heard of it.
Beware the Beast Within.
Don't look interesting.
I'm just naming them off some movies. If you guys recognize any of these movies or have seen them, let us know in the comments below. I'd be curious what you guys have seen.
I mean, we had a couple.
Blood Song.
Yeah. Blood Tide.
Frankie Avalon was in that movie.
Oh well, I mean
from
back
the 50s,
in the beach bingo.
Yeah.
Beach blanket bingo.
That Funicello and stuff. So he worked his way in there.
I guess. Yeah. We already mentioned Creep Show.
Blood Tide.
Curse of the Cannibal Confederates. That's worth a watch right there.
Starring Christopher Gummer.
Oh well.
The man with no teeth.
Yeah, he gums all his arms. Hey, you kids! There's cannibals
Curse of
over
the
there.
Cannibal Confederates. What the hell?
It's probably a bunch of Confederate soldiers.
That sounds interesting. Curse of the Cannibal Confederates.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't have a family and a job and a wife, and I had time to just watch stupid movies...
Yeah, well...
That sounds like something we would have rented on a Saturday night when we were kids, going to a video store. Because I know the video store we used to go to put out all these shit movies.
Oh, yeah.
When he saw us coming up the street.
Probably would have had...
Here comes those kids! Put all them shit movies out there.
Would have had a great cover, too, for that shitty movie.
Oh, well, that was back in the VHS days, man. Every movie had a cool box, especially horror movies.
We got Dark Sanity.
Hey, we got The Dorm That Dripped Blood.
Dogs of Hell.
Oh, Jesus.
Don't Go to Sleep. The Dorm That Dripped Blood.
Oh, my.
Starring...
Forbidden World. That's on Amazon Prime. That's like one of those Roger Corman presents there.
Oh, yeah. Forbidden World. That's not bad.
If we're going to go in alphabetical order there, I mean, we got to
Friday the 13th, Part 3.
In 3D. In 3D, yes. Damn it. And it's never had a really official... proper
and that's not
3D release on any home video format. It's always the stupid
old black
red eye, blue eye.
We need a proper 3D release.
Well, especially for fans of 3D and fans of the films. I think they deserve it. I mean,
no, I agree.
I can kind of take or leave the movies for the most part, but I suppose as far as the series goes, it's important because he gets He gets the hockey mask in this one, and
yep.
It's got some of the cheesiest special effects, like the yo-yo coming down. I mean, it's basically like
stupid little guy. Like the Three Stooges back in the day, throwing the sword or the cake.
But but that was filmed in real 3D back then. It was dumb, and so was this. And again, I didn't see this in the theater. My folks wouldn't take me to go see a movie like this, but. I remember there'd be weeks like Channel 43, WUAB here in the Cleveland area.
Yep.
That's when they would do like a Friday the 13th week, and they'd show like 1 through 5, or they'd mix it up. Yeah. But a lot of times it was 1 through 5. So that's where I Monday through Friday, 8 to 10, and so that's where I got to see.
Friday,
that's where I saw most of these.
Yeah, same here.
Yep. I at least saw up to 5. When they would do that.
Yeah. And then going in order, the Ghost Dance, and then. One of my favorites from the Halloween series, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch.
It's the best out of the whole series. The best one.
Well, the first one's the best.
No, Halloween 3, best one.
Are you joking?
Second.
Sometimes best. You don't know when we're joking. Hey, Ted, I'm going to say it is my second best. I loved.
The stigma is Halloween that it's got the word Halloween 3 in it. That's the stigma of the movie.
Well, what do we get from there? The masks. From that movie.
To Halloween.
The song Halloween.
Yeah.
And just the vibe, the whole
nihilistic
vibe.
ending. Did he turn the TV? Did it go off? What happened?
The factory. Everything.
I love the electronic theme.
Yes.
Of the
little
score.
Type. I loved it. No.
Oh yeah, I mean, I enjoy it. It's just the only problem is it's, imagine what if, what if John Carpenter could have got his wish and, every couple of years there'd be a new Halloween movie, but it'd been a different story.
Right.
The first one was just one story. Then you had Season of the Witch, and that'd be a different story.
Right.
And it would have been this great anthology series of all these really cool stories, and it would have continued to be
James Bond.
See, even James Bond gets stale after a while.
Well, that was a stupid.
Right.
Did I say stoopy?
Stoopy.
That was a stoopy comparison.
I'm talking like an anthology series where each entry is a completely different story.
Yeah.
Maybe the occasional two-parter or whatever. Some people like Halloween too. Yeah. I find it's much more frightening if you just end after the first one.
Yeah.
But, and then they both would have had sort of nihilistic kind of endings where, the boogeyman's gone in the first one. We don't know what's happening at the end of part 3, Halloween 3.
Yeah.
It'd have been interesting. Imagine like a box set of Halloween where each story's different, and you could watch them in any order you want, and each one would have been fresh and interesting. And
I agree.
You never know. John Carpenter's whole career could have taken a different turn because The Thing.
Well, I think
because it was so panned.
Yeah.
It actually, he was on the way up.
It's funny because and
that put the kibosh on his career. His career never really recovered after The Thing. He didn't really get the big budget films. He didn't get huge budgets. I mean, he had a year prep time on The Thing. He never got that again. And it's probably partially why The Thing is so good.
Yeah.
He did movies that I like. Big Trouble in Little China, They Live,
right, yeah.
Prince of Darkness. But none of them are at that level of The Thing. None of them are just the artistic achievement that The Thing is.
But still good movies.
Still good movies, but he did not. He wasn't. He was on his way to being a big Hollywood.
His movies are more revered now than they were.
He was on his way.
Then.
Let me put it this way. After Halloween, and all, he was on his way.
Yeah.
The Thing was a huge deal that he got it and that he was making it.
Yeah.
It was a huge deal. He was ready to take off and be this huge director.
Right.
He wouldn't have just been a horror director. He could have done lots of things.
Done other things. Yeah.
And that kind of put the brakes on it a bit. I feel like
put on the kibosh.
I do. I feel like he never really
got.
He never got that kind of chance again.
No.
Not that kind of a chance.
I get you. I hear you.
He still did certainly good movies. I wasn't trying to say that.
Jeez.
But just there's a lot of what if. Like, what if that movie had been a huge hit?
Yeah.
What if E.T. hadn't come out that year? Because that's what screwed everything up.
Yeah. E.T.
I know. Which we'll talk about in our other show, because you can't talk 82.
The Dino and Ted show, we'll talk about that.
Without talking about E.T. and Michael Jackson's Thriller.
Right?
We're going to gloss over them real quick, but they'll be there.
So continuing on the list of horror movies.
What do we got?
Made in 1982. Honeymoon Horror. Hospital Massacre was done. Starring Barbie Benton.
Well, any girl named Barbie is okay with me.
Well, do a quick search on Barbie Benton in the heyday.
Oh, yeah? She's not as good as if we go down a couple.
Well, we're not going to go down a couple.
The last horror film with Carolyn Monroe, one of my all-time favorite actresses.
Well, we got Humongous with Paul Lynch, which we can overlook.
That's a movie about me.
Humongous, yeah.
Take that any way you want. I'm a big guy.
Invitation to Hell.
I got one of those.
And then we get to the last horror film.
Yeah, with Carolyn Monroe. Not only was she a Hammer girl, she was a Bond girl.
She dated John F. Kennedy.
You know, there's even a...
that's
unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to go because I got a wedding to go to.
This is Carolyn Monroe's baby sister, right?
Monroe, M-U-N.
Oh.
In Pennsylvania, there's going to be one of those good, horror movie conventions, Monster Bash, and she's going to be one of the guests there. And, I'd love to.
Yeah, go see her.
Oh man, I just love to tell her how much I love all her movies.
Do some snacks for her.
No, just
take her a cupcake.
Bring her a cup of tea or something like that. Just
Cupcakes,
be nice.
Chocolate icing.
Maybe we'd be pen pals.
Little red dot.
Whatever it takes. Oh, look what's next on the list.
Make her some love.
No,
I said make her some love.
Oh well, yeah.
Which is the dessert.
The
tea.
I like that.
Hi, people.
Living Dead Girl.
Oh. Yeah, the Living Dead Girl.
Jean Rollin. He's a, I believe French. I believe he's a French director.
Oui.
Yes. Those movies, if you're interested in his film, he did a lot of...
Voulez-vous avec?
What they would call, like, Euro trash, sort of...
Yeah.
A lot of, like, the lesbian vampire movies. Stuff that I know you watch a lot of.
Love me some lesbo vampire
Love
movies.
me some lesbo
vampire movies.
Now you're going to get in trouble for saying lesbo.
Oh.
I think that's actually the name of one of the movies, Lesbo Vampire.
Well, yeah, no.
I'm just kidding. But Living Dead Girl is probably one of the more widely known ones.
That's what Rob Zombie's
he's got a song
was
probably
named,
his tastes sort of go in that direction.
Yeah.
With, like the type of movies we like and stuff. That's kind of what he digs too. He has said in plenty of interviews he don't really dig newer horror movies.
Right.
And, but no one gets on his ass.
No.
But
what?
I was going to say that there's a lot of his films, Jean Rollin's films, available. There's an app you can put on like your Roku, your smart TV, your smartphone. It's called Canopy, and it works with your library card. I don't know if it's available everywhere, but it's available here. You got to have a library card, and you only get so many watches a month, but it's enough for me. Okay. And there's a ton of those films on there. Lots of other good movies, by the way.
Really?
A lot of stuff you'd probably be interested in, too. Okay. I don't think you have that app. But like I said, you just got to have a library card. And
I'm gonna,
Canopy with a K, Kanopy. Okay. And a lot of these Jean Rollin vampire type films are on there. And I've watched a couple. They're okay. It's not really my taste, but Living Dead Girl's worth a mention because it's a popular one.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Cool. And going down the list, Mad Men.
Oh, with Galen Ross from Dawn of the Dead.
Yes.
Fran from Dawn of the Dead.
I
didn't know she did another movie.
I haven't seen the movie, so but I've heard the movie before. Mad Men, Madman.
I thought it was a TV show.
Manhattan Baby. So the next two movies are going to be two Lucio Fulci movies.
Fulci.
Italian.
Manhattan Baby, I don't know, but I think everybody knows New York Ripper.
That's Italian, right?
Yes.
Manhattan Baby and the New York Ripper. Nobody big in the movies, but...
no, New York Ripper is pretty popular. That's certainly on my list that I made up here.
Yeah.
That I thought was worth a mention.
Yeah.
And next of kin, is that with Patrick Swayze?
Next of kin with... No. Jackie Karen,
Bo Svensson.
So then we got Night Warning.
Oh, Pieces. We haven't seen that, but I know a lot of you dig that movie. It's a Spanish film.
Wait till we get to it.
What?
I want to name all the movies since we're almost through it.
God.
We're almost through them. Let me just get them off the list. So people know, hey, they mentioned every 1982 horror movie.
Yeah, because they can't go on Wikipedia and do the same damn thing.
Night Warning with Jimmy McNichol. McNichol. Who was
Christy
the other?
McNichol.
Yeah, that's her brother.
They don't even know who Christy McNichol is.
Parasite.
Watch Little Darlings.
Parasite is a Charles Band film.
Parasite, yes, that
one we
it's
haven't
on my
watched.
list.
It's got Demi Moore in there.
It was her first starring role.
Demi Moore.
If it wasn't for Charles Band, little child molester Demi Moore, who's on video tonguing some 12-year-old, which I mean, I wouldn't have a problem with it.
This is true.
But you know what? If it's
you can search it up on YouTube.
If you're gonna blame the guys, you got to blame the girls, man. A pedo's a pedo.
Yeah.
And I mean, but when I was 12, I mean, my idea of heaven was, Demi Moore sticking her tongue down my throat.
Well, yeah.
But
but to watch it as an adult, it's
yeah.
But anyways, we veered off here. Parasite.
And that was in 3D, actually.
Yes.
Yep, that was a
Parasites
3D.
flew at us in 3D action.
Yes.
Yeah, it was very scary.
You can buy that movie, man. It's available. You go on fullmoon.com. You can get that movie. Charles Band will sell it to you.
It's on my list, man. and
we talked about Poltergeist.
Pieces, like we've said. I mean, classic 1982
Pieces.
Gory.
Didn't we give that Blu-ray away to somebody?
Yeah.
I thought so.
Yeah.
I didn't even watch it, but that's on that Canopy station to watch as well.
Oh, Canopy.
Yeah, that I was just mentioning.
I like Canopies. Q.
Yes, The Winged Serpent with Michael Moriarty.
By Larry Cohen.
Richard Roundtree. Shaft, if you know Shaft.
David Carradine.
David Carradine's in it. Candy Clark, who was in Man Who Fell to Earth with David Bowie. American Graffiti, George Lucas.
Good stuff.
Yep, she was in those.
Yeah.
And some pretty cool stop motion. It's a fun movie.
Yeah.
It's on. It's at least on Amazon Prime to watch. I know, and you can probably.
Is it on Amazon Prime?
Yeah, I believe it's on Amazon Prime to watch. That's where I watched it.
Yeah.
But I had seen it before. I watched it not too long ago on Amazon Prime. But
you
that was one that we rented.
Check out Q.
Yeah, that was one that we rented as a kid. Man, that's just that big.
Looks very cool, man.
Oh yeah, I mean it takes a little while to see it, but have you ever seen it?
Yeah.
Oh, I was gonna say it's another one of those that had a great box.
Oh yeah. I'm telling you, man.
Cue the Winged Serpent. Yep.
The boxes on these VHS covers, man.
I mean, I was just excited that it had Shaft in it, because I used
to
watch Shaft on TBS when they would show the trilogy.
Then we have Satan's Mistress.
Oh, with
Sounds
good. Britt Eklund is
another looker
from The Wicker Man.
Yeah, another looker.
Wasn't her doing
from one of the greatest horror movies
the
of all
dance.
time? Yeah,
not her from behind, but her from the front, for show. For show. Satan's Mistress, Britt Eklund, man. Man, I'd put her between two slices of bread and
put mayonnaise on it, or
whatever. Special sauce.
Some kind of white sauce. The Sender, a Roger Christian film. Then we got The Slayer.
Slayer!
And then we come to The Slumber Party Massacre.
The Slumber Party Massacre.
The Slumber Party Massacre. And
for crying out
then we
loud.
Get Dario Argento's
Tenebrae. Yeah,
Tenebrae.
Tenebrae. That's how I say it.
I say Tenebrae.
It's not a bad movie. It's kind of like about an
more
an
psychological than.
Yeah, it's about an author who's getting involved. Like people getting killed like based on his books.
Yeah, buying cheese and
John
crackers
Saxon,
at the local Italian grocery store.
I guess there is a version of it to watch on Tubi, but it's called Unsane instead of the proper name, but it's really heavily cut, so don't bother watching it there. It shows up on Amazon Prime. It's been there, then it's gone, and it's been there, so it may show up.
It doesn't know what it wants to do.
Well, that's why I say go buy the movies you like.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, my God.
Jack Skellington fell over.
That's why you don't stream. Rely on streaming.
And then the list that we've mentioned, The Thing.
Oh, yeah.
Then we got Unhinged. And Variola Vera. It's a Ariola movie.
Variola Vera. I never even heard of that. That's
it's about.
I can't tell what country that's from.
It's about a crazy nipple.
Hey, there's
Erland Josephson. It's a Goran Markovich movie.
Hey, go back up to the P's for a second.
Go up to the P's. Okay.
That list is not complete.
Parasite, Pieces, Poltergeist. Why? What's
because
on
you missed Piranha 2: The Spawning.
Really?
You can double check if you like, but I am
no, I agree. It's not on the list, but hey, I'll go for it.
And the reason that is important,
I'll take your word for it. Yeah,
is because, and I'll
Piranha
double check
movie is
here,
very important
because it was James Cameron's directorial debut.
No way.
Yes.
Wow. So this is like Titanic news.
Well, unfortunately,
if this is true.
Let me see.
For 1982.
Let me just... You know what? I've got 1981 here. Scratch that, guys.
Oh, okay.
That's why it's not on the list.
We'll talk about that when we talk about 1981
I messed
horror
up,
movies.
so...
That's all right.
1981. But it was his directorial debut. And
so we have Ari Oliveira. I mean, Ari Oliveira. We got La Villa del Anime Maladette, whatever. And then we got Visiting Hours. And that kind of rounds
Michael
out...
Ironside.
Michael Ironside.
By Jean-Claude
Lord.
Picard.
The Jean-Claude Lord movie.
And so I think, can we all agree, out of all those movies you just mentioned, nothing touches The Thing?
Oh, no, of course not.
And I just watched it 2 days ago or so.
And this is just horror.
I bought...
not to mention the other films.
Here in the States, we don't even have a really good version of The Thing. Scream Factory put out a decent set.
Yeah.
But if you want the best, you got to get a region-free Blu-ray player.
Isn't there a 4K version coming out soon? Or no?
Don't know, but you got to get the one from England.
Yeah.
It doesn't have all the same bonus features.
Got to get the one from England.
Just the simple fact that they restored it from the original camera negative and not one of the other sources. At least you're getting an accurate representation. And
is that lemonade or Crystal Light?
It's some kind of other drink. It's blue raspberry. It's not bad.
Oh.
And the best thing about that movie, The Thing, is that it's not just a typical horror film. I mean, it's a science fiction film. It's a horror film. And it warrants repeat viewings. You get something a little bit different. You still don't get all the pieces. You don't always know who got it first and who's who, and who dumped all that blood out when they were talking about the blood test. And
there's still a lot of
who was in that room. We just saw his shadow
mystery
when the dog walks in the room.
Yeah.
I mean, you can kind of narrow it down to a couple people, but you still can't
Your
tell. Your
imagination can... There's a lot of underlying mystery behind
There's a
the
mystery
film,
there.
no matter what...
And just the ending, when it's just McCready and Childs, who's... Is one of them infected?
Oh,
Are both of them infected?
An old movie.
No,
I'm joking.
I have an opinion, but you can have a completely different opinion from that film. And
well, what's your opinion on the film?
Oh, my
ending.
My opinion is that Childs is infected because he disappeared, and he takes the bottle from McCready and takes a sip out of it. Now, it only takes one particle of the thing to make you that. I wouldn't drink after somebody else, the fact that he does it leads me to believe that he is infected. That he's not human anymore.
Yeah, I think we talked about this at
length
during our commentary.
Yeah, we talked all about it and pointed out the little things that you have to notice in the movie. And,
go back in our library and watch your commentary with it. Yeah, it was lot to say.
Just the way that film ends, and it's just a perfect movie. The effects just hold up beautifully. They're great. The acting is fantastic. I could go on and on about that movie. I mean, just the fact that they filmed it in they went to a remote location. All these guys kind of had to live together every day.
Yeah.
They
think Disneyland?
Well, no. I mean, they were out somewhere in Vancouver or whatever.
Oh, British Columbia.
But what I mean is they couldn't go home after a day's shooting. They lived together.
Right, they lived in that cabin.
It lends itself to the interactions between the actors.
Facility.
It felt real. And
it did. I felt like I was actually frozen. Half the...
Frozen. I mean, and any movie that starts off with, people trying to shoot a dog is usually okay with me. So, did I just go too far? It's how the movie starts.
No, I know. I hear you.
They didn't really shoot it.
So overall, 1982, man, good year for good year for horror. But no.
How can he say that?
Yeah.
You don't care that kids are in sex slave rings in the world, but we talk about a movie where someone's shooting a dog, you're going to get offended.
Wow. Yeah, let's get rid of all the negativity in the world. Anyways, yes, so...
Nothing beats The Thing. It's the top horror film of 1982.
So check out our past commentaries. All the links down below will take you to like our Twitter pages and Instagramsies and all that stuff, and Patreon. If you care to, if enough people ever get up there, I'll start putting extra stuff up there. But
all right. But until then, F you.
I'm joking.
I ain't taking my clothes off till there's more.
But I like this. I think we're gonna every now and then hit another year for
Oh, you liked my idea. This was my idea.
Yeah.
But 82, you got to start with 82 because it was just the greatest year. And there's so many other movies. I mean, when we do the other show, I mean, there's so many other movies.
We'll get to that. Yeah.
So tune in for that show.
Yeah, jump on over to the Dino and Ted show on YouTube.
Yeah, do it now.
And
do it now.
We talk more than just horror. We talk whatever we want, but it'll be 1982 other movies.
I took all the horror movies off the
music,
list
and all that stuff. So there you go.
No, I didn't.
With that said. Make sure you like, subscribe if this is you're new to you, and you gotta hit a button and bloom, and there's a thumb, and then
I never do any
you gotta do something or another for the Dino and Ted show. Oh, I mean late, yeah.
Whichever one.
Follow links below to our other channels.
Later.
Later, guys.
Later.